Welcome. My name is Mary Jean. Okay, welcome. My name is Mary Jean, and I am here to talk to you today a little bit about the up and coming Cleanse and Restore. I am going to do this in less than 30 minutes, so if it's a good one and I get it all done, I'm going to post it. Otherwise, no one's ever going to see this but me. So first of all, we're excited to talk to you about how we're going to use Doterra supplements to help us with our up and coming cleanse starting January 20th. So let me go to screen share and we're just going to kick this off and not waste time at all. 4:30, that means get started with the call. Screen share, the inside out, a fresh start to a new year. Share my screen. Okay, and now I'm going to go to full screen here. Okay, let's see here. That's not working. Let's go full screen here from the beginning. There we go. Doterra, healthy from the inside out. A fresh start to a healthy you. This is with me, and Mariah's been helping me put this together. The first thing is doTERRA has a wellness lifestyle. It's not just about essential oils in our products. It's really about a whole approach to life. And on the bottom of that foundation is eating right. Basically, I used to think that if you exercised your silly rear end off, you could kind of get away with eating garbage. Turns out that when you've been doing that for about 40 years, your body says, no, you can't. You have to eat right and exercise and rest and manage your stress, reduce your toxic load, informed self-care, proactive medical care. It's a whole package, starting with eating right. So I had to start eliminating things like fast food because it made me feel like terrible. And I had to do things like go to organic things because I could really tell a difference. I started with the vitamins, and we're going to talk about that. And since I'm an exercise professional, that was never really a problem for me. But I learned as I got older, I had to be more careful about my approach to exercise, more mindful about it. So let's just get started here. On this pyramid, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely perfect, 1 being terrible, or nothing. And I would love to know, what do you know? How do you rate yourself in each of these categories? And write that in the comments. So you know about eating right, but do you actually eat right? Do you know about what exercise you should be doing at your age and at your physical level? And then if you know it, do you do it? Maybe you don't know what kind of exercise you should be doing at the age of 50 when you're 25 pounds overweight, because it's different than when you're at the age of 45 and been in shape your entire life and never gotten out of shape, right? How about rest and manage stress? Do you know how many hours of sleep you should probably be sleeping a night? Do you know what a good protocol is before you go to bed? How do you handle stress? Do you know how to deal with stress? What is your coping mechanism? What is toxic load? Who knows? How do I reduce it? I can't even reduce it if I don't know what it is. I rate myself a 0 in that category. Well, I used to, but now I'm pretty knowledgeable about all this stuff. What I do, on the other hand, I'm in there with you. We know what we're supposed to do, and then there's doing it. And that's sometimes way more challenging. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to work through this together, walk through it together, starting January 20. But the thing is, the foundational part of this is food. The food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. So start with what you eat. We're really going to look at that in this cleanse. It's going to come with some recipes and suggestions, and it's not going to be hard. Don't worry. Only 14 days of the cleanse is really watching your food intake along with the doTERRA products. And the second 14 days is really just following through on the doTERRA cleanse. Now I have to tell you that you should never be eating white sugar, white flour, processed foods, chemically enhanced foods, artificial ingredients. You should always be taking in a lot of water. If you're not already doing these things, try to start doing them now, because we don't consider these things a part of the cleanse. We expect that you have already started working on this and you're eliminating these things from your life. So exercise is composed of 5 parts. Let's talk about that part of the foundation. And I'd like you to evaluate yourself on each of these things. How is your cardiorespiratory fitness? You should be able to Walk 3 miles without stopping if you are 45 years or older. And if you're younger than 45, you should be able to jog 3 miles without stopping. That's a good evaluation of cardiorespiratory fitness. Muscle endurance is how many push-ups you can do. Well, the older you get, the less it's reasonable that you should be able to do. But a good gauge is at the younger years, you should be able to do about 50 in 2 minutes. In your older years, Daddy's home. In your older years, you should still be able to maintain that. So women, if you should be able to do a handful of push-ups. Muscle strength, that's how much weight you can lift. Like, can you move pick up a big heavy box or move a dresser across a room with a friend's help? Balance and flexibility. Can you balance on one foot for more than 20 seconds? How about, can you touch your toes, tie your shoes, even when you're sitting? And nutrition and diet, of course, is something we're going to be talking about more. Rest and manage stress. Here's just touching on this a little bit. Most of us need 7 to 8 hours a day, which is funny because almost everybody I meet says they only need 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, which would be fine, except for that I'm telling you, at least 80% of the people I meet say, oh, I only need 4 or 5 hours. Well, that's probably true for a few people out there, but not true for most. Also, no screens 30 minutes before you sleep. If you have trouble sleeping, try taking a warm shower before you go to bed. Use a diffuser, put oils on your feet, read a book in bed, but not a Kindle or a backlit screen. And then do some deep breathing, meditate, and do a guided relaxation. Look one up on YouTube, but don't watch the screen. All right, so that's eat right, exercise, rest, and manage stress. Now let's get to the bulk of this cleanse, which is really about reducing toxic load. Toxic load, what even is that? I didn't even know when I first started learning about all the amazing things that doTERRA teaches us. Pathogens are the bacteria and the virus and the buggies, some good, some not so good. Chemicals, being an inorganic chemist, I have a good idea about this. These are some things you do not want in your system, like organic, certain compounds. Charcoal burn on your steak is actually not good for you, dioxins, things like that. There's also chemicals in food, exposure to pesticides, those kinds of things are considered chemicals. Radiation is overexposure to the sun. Gamma radiation is inevitable. You're going to get it. And UV radiation, things like that. Woo, you okay, dog? So here's a list of what toxins are. You can find them in skincare products and deodorants. If you're not careful about what candles you buy, the additives and the scents and the colors, and that burn right up into the air and go straight into your lungs and into your body, and then your body's dealing with it. Of course, smoking and alcohol, microwaving and plastics, insect repellents, those are bad. Essential oils can really do a lot to replace all your DEET and things like that. My friend went to Africa. She used only TerraShield, and it worked absolutely perfect. All the doctors on the mission trip were using the TerraShield by the end of it. Sunscreens, you know, now the news is coming out that maybe they're not so great for us. Hand sanitizers and exposure to plastics and alcohol over and over. Formaldehyde, of course, cosmetics. I mean, it just goes on. So they get into your body through your lungs or through your gut because you swallowed it, or just straight through your skin, which is the largest organ in your body. So the first step is to avoid the exposure in the first place. How are you going to do that? Well, wash all your food with lemon oil or something that's going to get those pesticides off. Diffuse things like On Guard and lemon in the air to pull some of those toxins out of the air. Not like Febreze, not Glade, not that kind of stuff. You diffuse oils to help reduce the toxic load in the air. If you live in a place where there's a lot of pollution, like San Bernardino County, or even the valley through Carlisle, Pennsylvania is one of the most polluted valleys in the United States because of the shape of the valley and air and truck traffic, then you should have your house sealed off and have air cleaners in the house. Those are ionic air filtration systems. You owe it to yourself if you can't move away from a place where the air is really not clean. Oh, and we have a demonstration where we drip lemon oil onto styrofoam, and you could see that lemon oil just dissolves it right away. This is why we don't put lemon in plastics. We drink our essential oils with glass only. So one thing we can do to reduce toxic load and never get it into our body in the first place is use clean products. All of our cosmetics, should be clear and clean. Our face care, our hair care, our cleansing, how we clean our house, vinegar, a little bit of lemon essential oil or On Guard products, and water. That's all you need to degrease and wipe down the countertops, and it works perfectly well. There's a lot to be learned in terms of replacing what's no good with something that's better. The next thing is to support your body so that what does get in you or near you is easily dealt with. One of the ways we can do that is by making sure our body is nice and strong with plenty of nutrition, reducing inflammation, and providing it with the things it needs for cellular renewal. Our vitamins are amazing. It is actually the #1 selling product, even though we're an essential oil company. These vitamins are 100% guaranteed. You try them, and if you don't like them after 30 days, return them empty for a full money-back refund. These changed my life. I have a story, and most everybody in doTERRA does have a story about how these vitamins have changed how they approach health and wellness. For me, my story is I was feeling like basically I had fibromyalgia, and it took 3 years. Finally, doTERRA found me. I tried these vitamins. I didn't believe they were going to work. I tried lots and lots of different vitamins, lots and lots of cleanses. Nothing was helping me. And finally, these did the trick. Now, in order to keep our time short today, I'm going to move on. But I just want to say to you that if there is absolutely anything that you feel can be improved in your life, constipation or energy or pain or better mood, then you must give these a try. They have 3 components to them. One is an antioxidant component called alpha CRS. You can see there that it reduces inflammation and helps immune function. It gets rid of that brain fog if that's come over you, and it allows the body to heal itself. The food nutrients, we just don't get enough nutrition. Either we eat too much of the wrong stuff, or in my case, I just don't eat enough, basically. And I count on my vitamins to make up the difference. And then there's the EO Omega. That is your omegas. And this is the one that I need more than just this EO Omega. I also take the children's drinkable IQ Omega because I need a lot of omegas to feel my best. Let's talk about digestion and elimination. The fact of the matter is you have toxins in your body and you got to get them out. And that's what this cleanse is really all about. So first step is getting enzymes in your body to start to break up some of the crud that's already in there, as well as break up crud that you are currently eating and not fully digesting. Terrazyme is made of a whole bunch of blends that help us break down stuff that's caught in the little pockets in our intestines, and also break down carbohydrates. And we have a great demonstration where we add a little Terrazyme to oatmeal and just stir it around. And within moments, it's breaking down. It turns into a paste like someone, can you imagine if you stuck oatmeal in your mouth? There was oatmeal. You stuck it in your mouth, chewed it up, bleh, spit it out. That's what sprinkling Terrazyme does to oatmeal without it ever being in a mouth. So we're going to support digestion, and that's the demonstration that I would have done if we had more time today. So just to review, that gut is the second brain. People, it's now common knowledge that our neurotransmitters are produced in our stomach, and that 90% of our feel-good serotonin is produced there as well. Serotonin doesn't just help us feel well. It also moves smooth muscles. It helps with digestion and elimination and moving our bowels and things like that. Serotonin is a very important neurotransmitter that does a lot of different things for our body. So this is what it looks like inside your GI tract. You have your little villi, which are like little fingers. But then on top of those little fingers are little fingers called microvilli. And the villi. And those can get so that they don't move anymore, or they get damaged and then they don't do their job. Food can get caught in between the villi, the larger fingers, get caught in between those spaces, and it affects their motility, or their ability to move food along and go with food and do their job, which helps with food absorption. We have friendly bacteria in our body, and they are absolutely necessary to help with our digestion. They prevent the growth of bad stuff by having plenty of good stuff. And they also help our cells for proper immune response. That universe of bacteria in our body are important to us. Now, if we get a growth of the wrong kind of bacteria going in there, like C. diff or yeast, and there's lots of others, we start to feel kind of crummy, but we can still carry on. The problem is people keep going instead of addressing these little things like digestive discomfort or a sensitivity or some like GI challenges, like a sensation here in the neck or the heart or the tummy. Or if you have no energy, you get food coma. You eat something and then you basically pass out from too much eating, like Thanksgiving, that joke. Well, that's not normal. That's not good. And then your immune system can be compromised over time, and you get some of maybe those autoimmune problems. Things that contribute to this are stress. Number one, stress is not, it's good to some degree, but mostly it's not good for us. Chemicals and toxins, a poor diet, lots of traveling and exposure, and of course antibiotics. They just kill all the biotics in our gut, and then we have to replenish. Biofilm, I have a whole article on this, and if you want to learn more about biofilm, go to Facebook, Mary Jean Fisher Essential Health, and it'll teach you a little bit more about biofilm. GX Assist is how we get rid of biofilm. We take it and the oregano and the thyme, very strong essential oils that break through that shell that the bacterial colony creates and helps move that bacteria out of the system. We do this for 10 days, 1 to 3 a day. Some people take 6 a day. I had my husband take 6 a day. He did fine with it. So depending on your sensitivity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a day. We're trying to get these toxins out of our gut and out of our body. So when we get a toxin, it goes to the liver. The liver says, hello, I cannot deal with this. Get it out of my body. It can go to the kidneys or the colon. We pee it out through the kidneys or we poop it out through the colon. Liver is king. It is an organ that can reproduce itself. It can heal itself. It's really, we rely on it for so much. If we can't get the toxins out through the colon or the kidneys, then the liver says, well, I'll put it in the fat. And so all of our fat cells do have toxins stored in them. And so it is important to keep our fat cells turning over and keep our fat cells kind of at a healthy low. That's why we don't want to have, women shouldn't have higher than 24, 26% body fat. Men really shouldn't be over 15% body fat. Zendocrine is something that, this is a complex, which is different than the oil, and it's phytonutrients that help the liver do its job. This is the Zendocrine oil, which is a blend of tangerine, juniper berry, cilantro, geranium, and rosemary, and they are essential oil blend that you can rub over the liver, or you can take it internally. And this also helps support the liver do its job, move those toxins out and around. After we've done the GX and we've done Zendocrine, we restart and renew with PB Assist. This is our probiotic. It's double encapsulated so that the bacteria that we want in our system are actually released down in the lower intestine where most of our biome lives. The prebiotic is around the first capsule. And then the probiotic are actually the microbes, and they're in the second capsule. It's all time released and amazingly scientific. So the prebiotic is made of fructooligosaccharides, and they support the bacteria once they break out of their second capsule. These little guys are full of 5 billion CFUs of different kinds of bacteria, Acidophilus, Bifidus lactis, Salvarius, and Cassia. I can't say those words. Anyway, it's a host of different ones so that, and they're all good for our body, so that they can help grow and flourish and move out some of the ones we don't need, like yeast. DDR Prime is all about cellular renewal. It's made of oils, frankincense, the king of all oils, which helps with cellular renewal, wild orange, great for our mood, lemongrass, wonderful for healing, tissue repair, thyme, also for healing, and clove, massive antioxidant. There's a few other oils in there too. DDR Prime is an essential oil that I haven't been taking as much, but the soft gels make it easy to swallow. And this is going to be a part of my cleanse for sure this time. Towards the end of my cleanse, the last 14 days, I'm going to be substituting out the GX Assist 10 days, the PB Assist 5 days, and then the remaining 15 days DDR Prime, because for me, it's tough to take so many pills. So I take them in phases. I also drink Slim and Sassy with my water because it tastes good, and then I actually drink more water. The problem is I just don't drink enough water. I wake up in the morning and I chug down 16 ounces with some lemon, essential oil. Then I find myself at lunchtime and I haven't had a sip more of water. It's terrible. So I try to carry the Slim and Sassy with me and my glass water bottle. I find that I can put down 3 small bottles of water, that's like 16 ounces, by the time I'm done with my school day. Then when I get home, I have a couple more chugs of water before I hit the wine or a beer. Gotta live, right? So Slim and Sassy helps with insulin management. It's good for you in terms of drinking water and making your body feel like it's not starving to death, maybe when it's not really actually starving to death. So here's the whole 30-day renewal. We start with our vitamins, of course, before the cleanse even starts, and take the vitamins, the 3-pack, 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening meal, always with food before the cleanse even starts, and that goes consistently, never stop. Then we start with Terrazyme and Zendocrine to support the liver and to get some of that carbohydrate stuff moving and out of the system. We used Zendocrine for 10 days with the GX Assist. I like to overlap those two. I use the Zendocrine oil right over the liver topically and the GX Assist internally for 10 days. I follow it with PB Assist for just 5 days. I'm going to change this chart. And then I go DDR Prime the remaining 15 days. I'll change this to reflect how I do it, so you can do it this way or you can do it the way I do it. If you would like to see another version of the 30-day cleanse, go to this website and you can see the magazine, Living Magazine, where they go over this entire cleanse in the magazine, the Doterra magazine. Remember, water, 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 water. And this is a reminder for me as much as it is for you. Lemon or Slim and Sassy in water many, many, many times per day. So finally, to wrap it up, let's go back to where we started. You are never eating white sugar, white flour, processed foods, chemically enhanced foods, artificial ingredients, and you're always drinking lots of water. But for this cleanse, for the first 15 days, we are not going to have any sugar, no alcohol, no caffeine, no dairy. Grains are going to be greatly eliminated and only be ancient grains if you do take them in. If you think you have any trouble with beans at all, you're going to eliminate beans from your diet as well. I know I don't have any trouble with legumes, so I'll be eating legumes for mine. But if you're not sure, then don't start with beans either. You're thinking to yourself, my God, what does that leave? I'm going to be a bunny rabbit, eat spinach and nothing else. Well, that's not true. You notice that I didn't say no meat here. You can have bone broth made from chicken bones. It's very good for you, and a whole lot of other things. And we'll include a recipe booklet with this cleanse, so don't worry about that, and a grocery shopping list. To wrap it up, if you are new to doTERRA, you can get all of this in one kit called Healthy from the Inside Out, the Cleanse and Restore Kit. Or if you already have an account, order through your LRP these products in the month of December and the month of January or the month of January to get ready for this cleanse. Remember, you need to be taking the Lifelong Vitality before the cleanse starts. In conclusion, all we have to do is eat well, move daily, hydrate often, sleep lots, love your body, be happy, repeat for the rest of your life. Because if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? Start somewhere. If this seems overwhelming, don't worry. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to assign you a cheerleader, and hopefully you'll volunteer to be a cheerleader for somebody else. Your body's going to thank you. All right, let's see if I did this in 30 minutes. Take care. Stop screen share. And that's it from Mary Jean. Take care, and I'll talk to you again in a few days. Goodbye.